Hey guys, it's Max from mkiTV, and I'm here with another video, this time analyzing what went on between TeamYP and ESL. TeamYP was banned from all ESL events due to their YouPorn sponsorship. But guys, before we head into the analysis of the entire situation, I do want to urge you guys to subscribe, to like this video, so be sure to give me a thumbs up if you like it. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channels for all this content that's coming out, these analysis, but also all the matches I'm casting, as well as the VODs are uploaded to YouTube daily. So for those who don't know, a few days ago, ESL came out, actually an article came out on venturebeat.com, and I'll link that article over here in the upper corner if you guys do want to read that article. It's a very good article, very good journalism. So they reported the story. They broke it that ESL has barred TeamYP for participating in all of their events, and immediately this, there was a huge storm that was blown up out of nothing really, and ESL has been getting a lot of criticism for it for various reasons, which I'll go into a little later. But I think it's important to add some background to this entire situation. So the first thing was that while TeamYP has been banned just now and they have been participating in ESL events, this rule was already in place earlier. It's just being enforced now. So it's not like it's a rule that's made against TeamYP. It's not like ESL was like, oh guys, you know what? There's a team that we don't like, so let's throw them out, let's make up this rule. That's not the situation here. The rule that I found, I wasn't able to find any, like, from the big events, from like ESL 1, from IEM, I wasn't able to find any rules in those rule books, but I found the global rule book from ESL Play regarding Counter-Strike Global Offensive. And this rule book was last updated on February 22nd, 2016, so quite a while ago, definitely not recently as in April. And it's Rule 3.24 regarding sponsorships and partnerships, and it reads, the ESL administration reserves the right to prohibit or remove teams with sponsors or partners that are solely or widely known for pornographic, drug use, or other adult mature themes and products from partaking in ESL Play events at any time. So, quite clear there. This rule is aimed at porn sites pretty much, but also drug use or other adult mature themes and products. And now the question here that will come to mind will be CSGO Lounge immediately. So before I go into CSGO Lounge, let's go over a few of the rights and the wrongs of this decision, the pros and the cons that we have here, because there are a few from both sides. You have to see it from ESL's side and you have to see it from TeamYP's side. Obviously, both sides have a lot to lose here. TeamYP probably a little more as they're more dependent on ESL, while ESL isn't as dependent on TeamYP. So I have 3 rights and 3 wrongs listed out, and I'll go over the rights first for ESL, of course. So why this decision was a good decision. And in the market ESL operates in, so we're talking about a huge underage demographic. So under 18, some places under 21, where pornography is illegal. And that's completely fine. I mean, you don't want ESL to be promoting illegal habits or illegal, I don't know, addictions, whatever you want to call it. The second right is moral values. And I think we can all agree that as a company, ESL has taken this stance that they don't want to promote this. This is illegal. It's detrimental, let's say, to the development of these young males who maybe if TeamYP is sponsoring this team, maybe they are seeing some growth, and that would be detrimental to the community as a whole. So that's another reason there. I do agree with ESL for moral values. However, this is a con as well, which I'm about to get into. And the other pro is showing partners that they are a serious professional company, in the sense that it's a good PR move regarding sponsorships. when ESL made this decision, it seemed right away that this was a decision based on their partners, and that their partners didn't want this kind of content to be advertised. And that seems to be the main storyline here, is why ESL chose this. Now, there are a few cons as well, and the first one is dangerous precedent, and this one has been argued many times. You know, will this become a trend? Like, will ESL say, oh, you know what, that partner is uncomfortable, let's ban them? Because, for instance, CSGO Lounge, they have a rule that says drug use or other adult mature themes and products, and that doesn't necessarily mean pornography. I mean, we're talking, you know, betting is just as bad. I mean, we're talking, the trend that we're seeing in esports is underage betting, massive underage betting. And you have to think about this a little bit. I mean, the majority of players that are betting on CSGO Lounge and are raging that they're losing their skins, you know, are practically kids. And they're becoming addicted to these betting websites. And, you know, we're talking about just skins now, but as they grow and they mature, who's to say that the trend is not going to continue if they get addicted to betting websites? And that's something that's very, makes me worry a lot, that, you know, we're seeing this inconsistency. And that kind of brings me into my second con, is the moral value. I mentioned that ESL here is taking the high ground, they're saying porn is instrumental, whatever. However, then at the same time, you have to look at betting. You can't just say, you know, only this is bad, betting is fine. And that goes for every company. I mean, so who's saying, I mean, are they saying that alcohol is legal now? Are they not going to advertise alcohol? We see Bud Light coming in to the esports. I mean, I feel like things like, if you're going to ban pornography, you have to ban alcohol and you have to ban gambling. I mean, that's normal. It's, if you go to Las Vegas, you're not allowed to gamble at the age, unless you're age 21. So, I mean, for me, it's just mind-boggling that they're not addressing the issue of CSGO Lounge at the same time for these moral values. Now, the third con is something related to the community, and I think it's losing touch with your base community and poor PR as well in the community that this decision produces. Because you have to think, this is a young male, and I'm getting away from moral values here, putting them completely aside in my personal opinion. But like, what's the demographic? It's a young male gamer demographic that sits in front of their computers. I mean, most forums, most community forums don't ban this kind of material, you know, the sexy GIFs, the, you know, pornography websites, whatever. And here we see ESL coming out and pretty much just angering the entire demographic for, you know, this emotional reason. You know, you're banning TeamYP. You know, it's so cool that there was, you know, this sponsor that started, you know, coming into esports and sharing, you know, our passion and whatever. And ESL bans them out of the blue. So it's just losing touch with your base there, the community. And the more I think about it, the more saddening it is, because that's the great thing about making such content, is you really have to think things through. And it is definitely a sad story here that we're seeing, you know, ESL, as the management gets older, they're kind of losing touch with the community, which is much younger than they are. And that's definitely something I think they have to take a look at in the future, because, you know, they grew older, and I think this young demographic, to be honest, I think this porn issue, the young demographic is much closer to porn than it is to alcohol, and I haven't seen ESL make a stance against alcohol yet. And that might be because of, you know, the age gap between the management and the community. It's just my quick thought, but that does seem to be the issue. So losing touch and poor PR. And the result of this, for me, is that the cons outweigh the pros, to be honest. When you look at all the decisions being made and the reasons behind these decisions, you see that it's an obvious business decision to please the sponsors, because that is ESL's largest funding. It is, you know, the money that comes in from their sponsors, huge sponsors. And the negative PR that they're getting from the community itself regarding this decision and the lack of moral consistency, because that's the one place that I can really hold ESL's side, is the moral value. However, we're seeing a lot of inconsistency with the moral values here. If you're allowing, well, not illegal, but gambling sites, which lead to illegal gambling by underage gamers, still sponsor you. It's just mind-boggling. There's a lot of teams that are sponsored by gambling sites. I mean, tons. And we saw, I mean, Vexed, that was a gambling site that rebranded. Lounge, I mean, same thing. Lounge GG. I mean, there are tons of teams, and TeamYP even offered to rebrand the same way that we saw the gambling sites rebrand, and ESL said no. So it's a very weird issue. It's a really weird stance for ESL to take, as they're being extremely selective with enforcing their rule, and the moral values are very inconsistent there, and I think that's the very important thing to stress there. So the future, the legacy of this decision, overwhelmingly negative in my opinion. Not because I care about TeamYP being sponsored or I'm closer to one sponsor or the other. However, I do feel like I really want to be on ESL's side here, because I believe that, to be honest, I believe that TeamYP should be banned from the events, or at least YouPorn should be banned from the sponsorship outright. But at the same time, same goes for the gambling websites. I don't believe that the gambling websites should be allowed to sponsor in this case. And if you ban TeamYP, then you have to ban Lounge GG, and you have to ban Vexed, and you have to ban all those other teams. And we haven't seen that happen. So I'm very interested to see if this issue lives on, and I'm interested to see ESL's, response further down the line to, them just abandoning these moral values, being extremely inconsistent with what they're deciding to pick their fight against. It's just very weird. So that was my thoughts on the TeamYP scandal. The links I already gave you guys, but they will be in the description as well, for the rule of ESL and for the article that appeared on venturebeat.com. And guys, be sure to subscribe to my video to my YouTube channel as well, and you'll be able to watch my future videos. That way you'll be informed when they do come out. Thanks for watching, and give me a thumbs up if you liked the video.